Right, staying with that, tributes continue to pour in for the late former Bafana Bafana coach Clive Barker. We are also joined now by former Bafana Bafana goalkeeper Roger de Sá. He's joining us via Zoom, all the way from Austria. Roger, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. There's a previous interview of yours that you did back in 2015, and you referred to Coach Barker as a father figure. What exactly does this loss mean, not only to his family, but also to the football fraternity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think to the whole nation. I think Clive goes down as one of our football greats. I put him up, next to the great Joe Mosono, to the Lucas Radeves and Benny's and so on, the guys that have really made an impact and made a difference in our game. And Clive was unbelievable in that 96 team and everything else that he achieved. And I think all of us, all the players that he touched, that he made an impact with, what he taught us, both as a coach and as a person, as a father, as a human being, he was always fantastic to all of us. I think a real legend of South African football and South Africa as a whole.
Definitely. And talking about that 1996 squad, it was filled with a lot of quality. I mean, the likes of your Mark Fish, Lucas Hadebe, Neil Tovey, Eric Tinkler, Dr. Kumala, and I mean, that's just to name a few. The list goes on. And speaking about Neil Tovey, I think I was in grade 2 when we had a whole list of players come through to my school. I remember, that squad to this day, even though I was only 8, 9 years old. So looking back at that team, it was definitely a different era of football altogether. We cannot compare it to today. However, what is it about the coach you think that allowed him to bring out the best in his players?
Well, Clive came in, I think, short after our integration into international football, and he changed the whole setup. He really did. He made us feel a real part of the family, and he was just sort of the head of the family. His motivational talks to us and the way he was around us, he was one of the boys. He believed in all of us. He allowed us to play our own type of football. I don't think Clive ever emulated Barcelona or Real Madrid or anybody else. He allowed us to play the way we could play. He focused on the strengths of all our players, and we were successful. And I think that was what was very special about Clive. He let us be South Africans. He let us be who we are, and he put us all together. And we had a fantastic journey. I think that 96 trip was unbelievable. And we haven't been able to emulate that for such a long time. It will take somebody very, very special to do what Clive did.
You're 100% correct, Roger. I think that 1996 is something that we're going to remember for a very, very long time still to come. So if you could teach up-and-coming footballers only one, if you had to pick only one of Coach Barker's principles, what would that one particular thing be?
I think just to be a friend. I think that was key.
And I think in all of our leaders, that is one thing that is definitely key, to just be a friend. Sometimes it's not about the job that needs to be done, but just to be there, just to be present. So earlier in my intro, Roger, I mentioned that you are in Austria, you're out in Vienna. So thank you for making the time. You mentioned to me that you are currently on a training camp there with the Qatar national team with Coach Carlos Queiroz. How is that going?
Yeah, that's going pretty well. We are preparing for the Gold Cup in the USA. We're playing 3 matches here with the Qatar national team, and then we move on to the USA to play in the Gold Cup, which will be played in USA and Canada. It's in preparation for the World Cup. So a tough couple of weeks for us and a long journey, but looking forward to it. Great challenge for myself once again. And, having shared the moment now with Carlos about Clive, Carlos was also very sad by the news.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that, Roger. We're going to have to leave it there for now, and we wish you all the best with Coach Carlos there in Austria. That's former Bafana Bafana goalkeeper Roger de Sá.